the really poor quality angle and the fan in the background and how I sound. I'm a little under the weather. I got a booster shot yesterday. I'm not feeling 100%, but I just wanted to address the quarterback controversy that we're all of a sudden dealing with once again in Philadelphia. I want to talk about more about it. Gardner Minshew versus Jalen Hurts. And listen, the only reason why I'm talking about this right now is because outside of Jason Kelsey, congrats to being the nominee for Walter Payton Man of the Year for the Eagles. Props to him, and hope he gets better with his injury. Same with Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard, and all those other guys that we're keeping tabs on as the next week and a half goes on until we play Washington. This is a big point of emphasis here because this is all we're going to be talking about in sports media, and I'm I'm conflicted. I don't care if I see Minshew and see what he has to bring to the table, and I don't care if we see what else Hurts can do with the last couple of games in the season with the potential playoff spot on the line. So, whatever happens is whatever happens, in my honest opinion. But I just want to point out something from this guy. I think his name is Keyshawn Johnson, former wide receiver for the Cowboys for a couple of years, ripping the Eagle fans specifically for this whole backup quarterback debacle with Gardner Minshew. This whole controversy. Talking about how we love a backup quarterback and we always rally behind them over the starter, and we never give the starter the fair opportunity or this, that, and the other. Um, Bringing up like Coy, like Detmer, whatever. People before I was born, like in the '90s, Jeff Garcia for Donovan McNabb, Kevin Kolb for Donovan McNabb, Nick Foles to Carson Wentz, and now Gardner Minshew to Hurts. And listen, while I understand why he's saying this, at the same time, I want to point out something. If we're just sticking to the past decade of football, Nick Foles came in as a backup over Michael Vick because he was injured, and or Michael Vick was injured, and we stuck with him after a game or two because we were running the offense effectively better with Michael Vick. Donovan McNabb got hurt, and we saw Michael Vick come in, and then we traded McNabb the following year. And then Carson Wentz and Nick Foles. That was an interesting one, and I get why you bring it up because this is one where Carson Wentz was having an MVP caliber season, and Nick Foles came in relief for a season-ending injury and won you the Super Bowl. And after that, we gave the keys right back to Carson Wentz, who showed flashes but never could quite get back to where he was with that same team, adding on with Golden Tate and a couple other pieces that were added into the mix in 2018 and in 2019. And he played through injury, had a lot of rumors about his leadership quality, whether he's a good leader or not, and then got hurt again. Nick Foles had to come in and led us to another near NFC Championship appearance. Who knows what would have happened if we had been the Saints, right? I made a video highlighting that very thing. Now 2019, it was all Wentz. It was all Wentz, and he had a good run at the end of the year against the division, going 4-0, going from 5-7 to 9-7, winning the division, and playing against the Seahawks where he inevitably got hurt. And after that, we drafted a quarterback. This right here, this isn't the fans making this issue. This was Howie Roseman making this issue with Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz last year. And then Carson Wentz just added on to it by playing the way he was. You know, I look at the Minshew Hurts thing now after going through all that history, right? The Hurts and Minshew thing, it's just from my perspective as just a casual fan who makes videos and, shares his opinion online. I haven't seen enough development from Hurts yet that makes me excited to see more of him. As a matter of fact, what kind of development has us passing the football with him like 10 to 20 times a game? Barely passing the football, having him run first rather than pass. I don't like that type of offense. It's great to see a running game doing what it's doing, and we even ran for almost 200 yards without Jalen Hurts' 70. So I'm I prefer a quarterback who can actually make those big-time throws in big-time moments. Now, I'm not going to knock on Hurts and say he didn't put the ball in the money twice in a row to Rager where he dropped it. I get that. I'm not going to take away Greg Ward dropping a touchdown pass that was, yes, on the money. I'm not going to take away Boston Scott's touchdown callback for a holding. I'm not going to take that back. But 3 interceptions, 2 of them in the red zone against the Giants in a game where you were in it throughout the very end, and if you get those points, you win the game. He made bad decisions in that game that reverted. I saw his development go backwards because of those decisions he made in those games. Specifically, the one on the goal line on third and goal in the second quarter before halftime. That one right there, that was the biggest sign of regression in his development I've seen all season. He's had a couple of good games against the Falcons. I guess you want to say against the Lions. He only threw 14 times, didn't do anything in that game. As a quarterback, as a runner, yes. As a quarterback, no. Minshew came in last week on Sunday against the Jets and was accurate for the most part. A couple underthrown balls, yes, but he put the ball where it needed to be, didn't put it in harm's way, made the right decisions, and it won us a football game. And we had Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, and Kenneth Gainwell tearing it up in the backfield. We had a quarterback who could actually run around too, but he only ran when he needed to. Hurts is a one-read quarterback who runs more than he throws because he doesn't trust his arm. He doesn't trust himself to put the ball where it needs to be half the time. And how much more development can we give him? Of course, you want to give a quarterback likely like 2 to 3 years of development, but at the same time, how much of the same old is going to be too much? You know, like how much are we going to have to, how long are we going to have to wait until we see some difference in the way he plays and the way in his development? How much longer are we going to have to wait? That's my biggest question. That's the only thing that I have, that I'm questioning looking ahead at the last 4 games of the year. And if he stinks it up against Washington in that first half and we're down, but we're still in the game, but he's not making right decisions, he's missing players here and there, put Minshew back in. That's all I want to say. Because right now is an opportunity for the Eagles to at least make a run for the playoffs, if anything, which all of us want to see. We all want to see this team win, don't we? That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. That's my take on the whole thing. Let me know how you guys feel about it, because I'm not gonna try and delve too deep into how much I want to see one quarterback over the other. I wish that Hurts could succeed. I really do. I want to see him succeed. But if he does not show any more improvement to me, I wouldn't. It's just like with Carson Wentz last year. We saw him regress. We waited and waited and waited, and eventually I got tired of it, and I said I wanted to see a different quarterback. Right now, I'm not nearly close to that point. I want to see Hurts continue to develop, but if he's not going to show me anything, what's the point in watching him and giving him this opportunity? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say.